Welcome, my friends, to this Greenskin showdown featuring Grimgor Ironhide facing off against the Dark Lord Tic-Tac-Toe. So it's certainly going to be the battle of the Haggard Lords here. As a matter of fact, I don't even have the Tic-Tac-Toe DLC. I was so uninterested in Tic-Tac-Toe when he came out, I just didn't even bother to download it, which is pretty funny, I suppose. So I'll have to be reviewing some of his stats as I don't have his stats memorized like the other characters. So as far as the Greenskin army goes, here we have the double Giant beatdown. Now, Giants did get a cost reduction in the Hunter and the Beast DLC. They went from 1600 to 1500, which is nice, but I feel like they have a nice application against lizards. Now, lizards have some really good counters like chameleon skinks and salamanders and things like that, but the greenskins also have some tools to hunt those type of units. You have forest goblin spider riders and, a couple other mobile threats that can really pursue them. So, I mean, it's a little bit risky, I think, like if you're going up against a greenskin player to bring like a bunch of, salamanders and things like that, because typically they are going to be having some pretty mobile threats. So sometimes you can't get away with the giant, but chameleons, of course, and salamanders can really punish them. But now onto the positive. I feel like giants, for the cost, are really good against dinos. They can beat down stegodons, bastillodons. They can put up a great fight against pretty much all of the dinos. They can fight carnosaurs. I mean, they have really good stats. They're just slow. They have 30 speed and relatively low melee defense and are obviously pretty much naked. So they have their vulnerabilities in terms of their defensive capabilities, but they have pretty much unbreakable leadership. And against big dinos, they're a great roadblock because a lot of times Lizardmen players against greenskins like to just bull rush you with like stegodons and skink chiefs on stegodons and the thunderous one. And these guys, like I said, are a pretty good answer against him. Now on the front line, it's going to be a combination of black orcs and goblins. So I just kind of ran out of, I had to go to Walmart. I had to shop at Walmart for the goblins here, but black orcs are quite good. They can fight up against Temple Guard, they beat down Saurus, and they trade pretty effectively, especially with the Wasps. I really like the Black Orc front line here. The Goblins, again, just a Walmart decision. When you invest in two giants, that's 3,000 gold. You're going to have to kind of cut things. You have to cut corners somewhere in your build. In the back here, we have the Rusty Arrows and 4 Archers. So 4 Orc Arrow Boys, which I think are MVPs in this matchup as well. Though it doesn't say armor piercing, and their AP values are arguably, in terms of their proportions, not very good. They still have 6 AP damage compared to Goblins who have like 1 or 2. So they can pepper down big armor targets, especially with the support of the Rusty Arrows. And yeah, it's just really a numbers game, which is the Greenskin way. We have Nasty Skulkers in the back. We do also have an Orc Shaman with There We Go, Fist of Gork, and Brainbuster. And that's pretty much it. So a very aggressive kind of tight greenskin army. Not really going to be pushing out with a bunch of mobility. Just going to be trying to take the lizards head on. On top of that, we do have a Night Goblin Shaman. And you guys are probably like, you forgot to talk about GRIMGOR. Yes, we do have GRIMGOR Ironhide. He's here. GRIMGOR Ironhide. He's got his big axe. He's got Gitsnick. And, he's ready to meme. He's ready to go. And we'll see how he does. I mean, it's GRIMGOR. So he's not very good, but it's fun to bring him out every now and then. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that beautiful smile. So for the dinos, we got a Saurus up here. We do also have a couple groups of Temple Guard. So it looks very much like a Croak build, just a headstrong build using Saurus and Temple Guard, just very elite troops, just backed up by paddling. So basically the Saurus just kind of tank, the Temple Guard tank, the Croc scores come in and spank. It's a pretty strong kind of a composition. And we just also have Lord Croak, and Lord Croak has been nerfed in the Hunter and the Beast DLC. I believe he got a cost increase on some of his abilities as well as his overall cost. I can't remember the exact nerf, but I think it was just a cost one. But I mean, if you don't dodge his abilities, he's still going to just, stomp your couch, and it's not going to be a good time. So I definitely have to be very keen to dodge those. Otherwise, my Black Orcs are going to get Shadow Realmed. Now, he does have one group of Salamanders in the back, so I like that he didn't bring too much like range pressure because it's not a lot to protect. Like if you were playing against a Greenskin Swarm, you only really have to allocate like some spears to protect these guys, and you'll probably be okay. So I like that quite a bit. And we have Tic-Tac-Toe as well, a bit of a meme pick in my opinion, but Tic-Tac-Toe, much like GRIMGOR, they're going to be having their glorious meme battle. So let me see what he does actually. It's like, I never see him. So Master of the Sky, so he can buff himself. He does also have the Drop Rock and the Focus Instincts, and his items are the Mask of the Heavens, which targeted flying. Okay, so he only really buffs himself with that. No other real flying units to help out with. But yeah, I mean, I guess he's a good character sniper, like going after Orc Shaman and, things like that could be okay. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and see if the double giant beatdown in GRIMGOR can take on the fury of Tic-Tac-Toe's Croak build. Man, Tic-Tac-Toe and Croak, quite the troll toll combo over there. So in the back here, we do also have a Night Goblin Shaman, forgot to mention this. He just has Wand of Jet, which makes him cost like 300. And he's basically a free mana battery. So we're just going to be hiding him to get that glorious WA power over the course of this whole game. So right now I'm going to be advancing up the hill here as the lizards do the same thing. So neither of us really took a traditional deployment. He actually started over here. So he's going to be coming up on the side of the hill, which means we're probably going to have like a really blobby fight right here, which is probably what he wants with the Croak build. So at this point, I will be squaring up my army. You can see I'm just going to be rotating, and he's doing the same thing. So Tic-Tac-Toe coming looking for freebies. Maybe going to be doing the Rock Drop. Granted, the Rock Drop is pretty strong with Tic-Tac-Toe from if memory serves, but he's probably going to be saving that for later. But I do have Orc Arrow Boys who, I mean, he can juke me if he's microing correctly, but he's going to be taking a couple shots here, which isn't the biggest of deals. Yeah, you can see it's not really doing a whole lot. And it looks like Croak is going to be dropping his first bomb here, so I do see it. So I get the Rusty Arrows forward and the Orc Arrow Boys back, and I am partially able to dodge it. I don't think it's going to do too much. The thing about Croak's abilities is they take forever to go off, so you really need to get those optimal engagements. Croak is going to be going again here, but I do dodge it, so whenever you see Croak, just like literally focus like most of your game plan around dodging his things, and you'll be okay. So he's used a lot of Winds of Magic now, his reserves are obviously dwindled a little bit, and now the Croc-Score Paddle squad is going to be coming in, but the Giants will be okay here. So Black Orcs are going to be surging in against the Saurus, and the Giants are going to be coming in as well. A little bit late on the wall, which is okay, but there it comes. So at least the Giants will get the charge bonus, and the Giants are just, talk about paddling. The Croc scores are going to get majorly paddled here by the Giants. So the Giants surging in, Grimgor's in there as well, and if Grimgor isn't sniped, which is his biggest problem, he can sit there and chop away and actually get you really frequent walks, which is pretty strong. The other Giant in the meantime is going to be going after the Croc scores here, because they have gotten onto the Brustieres, which is not fun. But the Giant, like you can see with the wall, is really beating down the Croc scores. We're also taking some pretty good crossfire here from the Orc Air Boys. Tic-Tac-Toe in the meantime is going to be jumping in the back line, and the other Croc scores are going to be surging into the back against my Air Boys, but I have my Nasty Skulkers waiting, which is pretty much standard. You always want to defend your back line with Greenskins, in my opinion, with Nasty Skulkers, so they should be able to actually shank down these Croc scores. And you can see the Croc scores here are down to 7 models. They're taking a ton of AP damage from the Nasty Skulkers, and it's a very good situation. So those paddles have been dealt with, to say the least. And Tic-Tac-Toe here is definitely in the danger zone. He's going to be coming back here. The big old Giant's going to be going to Pound Town on him. And you can see, oh, the big old Clubbins coming in. Tic-Tac-Toe is most certainly out of his element. Nasty Skulker's coming in as well. And I don't think I had the Smoke Bomb because I used it against the Croc scores back there, but still, pretty decent little situation. Now, Temple Guard in the front line are winning their fights. I believe he did get 1 or 2 Croak bombardments in the front, so he was able to get some value there. Now, other Giant is being taken to task here by the Salamanders in the back. Of course, they're lightly armored. Salamanders have anti-large. It's like the dream situation. But GRIMGOR, the greatest of all the orcs here, is going to be chopping these guys down. And I mean, his dream situation, literally, like in multiplayer, is to have him just going fisticuffs against like elite armored infantry like this. This is like perfect. Like if he's not going to be harassed or like dove upon or sniped or anything, he's going to do pretty well here. So Gitsnik, he's pretty juiced right now. 87 melee attack, 640 weapon strength, and him and his boys, they gave a good old crumpet to those Temple Guard. So one of my Giants is going to be going down. Salamanders are able to get some really good fire, and it has 392 HP. Temple Guard up here on the high ground doing pretty good. The Orc Shaman and the Black Orcs are trying to hold this, but it looks like the Temple Guard are going to be able to get through this line here, and they probably won't. Yeah, Black Orcs won't hold for much longer. Brain Bust is going to be going down, which does some okay damage, maybe a little bit of friendly fire, and some of my Orc Air Boys in the back who have been getting attacked and pressured by the Croc scores are finally back online, and they're putting a pretty good hurting here on the Salamander hunting packs. Granted, the Bounce Fire does come back from my opponent here, and the Croc scores with their paddles are coming in for round 2, baby. They're going to be getting that huge charge, and some of the Orc Boys are getting paddled, but here come the most heinous of Greenskins. The Nasty Skulker is going to be charging in like the true heroes of the Greenskin Empire, and they should be able to hold back these Croc scores, and a Smoke Bomb is going to be going down, pinning those guys in place, and pretty much sealing their doom, as my second Giant is going to be turning around. But the Salamanders, I don't have any mobile threats, like I said, so the Salamanders have been really punishing here. A nice little Croak Bomb going up in front, taking out some Goblins. But for the most part, there are some Croc scores in the back line, but I have enough archers. I have a lot of them. I should be able to get some healthy crossfire and take out those Croc scores. But Bounce Fire is even a little bit in my favor. The fact that we finish off those Croc scores is quite good, and Skulkers are actually really good against Temple Guard as well. Steady, high volume AP damage is going to be very good against these elite troops. So Temple Guard are going to be surging in. The Prison Shank Lords are going to be piling in as well, and the Giant can fight pretty well against Temple Guard if he's stacked on top of infantry. Now if he's isolated, it's not going to be so good, and Tic-Tac-Toe's coming in for a little bit. So Tic-Tac-Toe jumps in, but the Giant comes in with an overhand right and actually misses, but Tic-Tac-Toe, obviously not the most elite of Lizardmen troops. Oh, and he's just getting paddled. 72 HP on this guy. He's probably going to be going down. Skulkers here. Do they have the ability to shank him? Is he going to get away? He's like, oh, I can't get away. It looks like Tic-Tac-Toe might actually escape. Is he going to escape? 36 HP? Damn, that is really close, but he's pretty much probably going to be a non-factor at this point. But here, it looks like the Lizards have actually won this engagement. The Temple Guard and the Saurus Spears have done pretty well. Brain Buster is going to be going down for my Orc Shaman as Black Orcs pile in. Over here, we have a Croak, but Croak, oh, GRIMGOR's got something to say to this Git. So Gitsnik is going to be popped, and this Giant Toad is going to be probably beaten down by GRIMGOR here. 937 here. And GRIMGOR's so excited. He's like, yes, I'm finally doing something good in a quick battle. So GRIMGOR is going to be coming in, going after Croak Daddy. But at this point, I realized it probably wasn't worth it, chasing Croak. I was just going to send the Giant to deal with him and then pull GRIMGOR back to deal with these Croc scores here. So some Saurus are coming back on the flank here, so I'm going to be turning my archers to get some crossfire in them. Granted, they are shielded, I think. No, they're not shielded, so we might get some work here. No, the Orc Archer is actually going to be shooting the Toad. So we're going to be shooting at the Toad in the forest here. GRIMGOR and the Giant are going to be moving into stabilize here, but those damn Salamanders just causing so many problems. Temple Guard here are 20 models against my 18 Black Orcs, but I do have some Goblins supporting, and my Orc Shaman also lurking in the trees as well. It actually was a pretty close battle for some time, but when Tic-Tac-Toe broke off, that was a pretty big thing. So from here, we should be able to kind of kite the Saurus out. The Giant honestly could pile into the Saurus and maybe do some pretty good work. And this is probably the first time I'm ever going to say it, but I think GRIMGOR could probably carry this game here. I think he's going to be able to take out the Saurus Spears and some of these other troops. Like, I don't think the Lizards have enough stopping power to deal with GRIMGOR Ironhide at this point. I mean, let's see, 3,600 HP. GRIMGOR should really have like 5,000 HP. I don't think it would be a big deal. Yeah, but anyways, I'm sure there'll be a rework at some point for them. So Durastier is going to be shooting in as well against the Salamanders. Salamanders are charging into combat, but they're pretty touted themselves. I still have Black Orcs. I have a Giant here that's in okay health. I mean, that's still a lot of HP. That's 2,300. And Croak in the Forest. Oh, he gets caught. He gets caught by the nasty Skulkers. And, of course, the mightiest of old Slans taken out by a bunch of Goblins. Classic Warhammer. Gotta love it. Now back in the main fight, Salamander Hunting Pack is going to be fighting GRIMGOR, and GRIMGOR's Gitsnick. He thirsts. The Fist of Gore going down, and he's pretty juiced right now. Salamander's definitely not having a good time there. There is going to be a last surge here of the Lizard people. We do have Temple Guard, and it looks like some sort of spears, but they're probably going to get slapped with army losses as GRIMGOR is going to be able to lead his boys back into battle here. And the other Giant is going to be emerging from the hill. Goblins are coming back, Archers are coming back, and I think we have some nasty Skulkers over here as well, who should be able to intercept the remnants of those Temple Guards. So GRIMGOR going to be getting the cinematic finish that he always dreamed of in quick battles, as he is able to cleave some of these swords with that big old... Oh, what a tease. Glorious overhand chop. I'm sorry, guys. I did not do that. It wasn't my intent. But yeah, it was a really fun battle. I think more so than anything, it shows the potential of the double giant. Pretty good answer against Croxagors, Sacred Croxagors. Pretty good answer against Stegodons, Thunderous One. Yes, it can be hard countered by Salamanders and Skinks. And, you know, in that note, I might, like, change something about this build. I don't know. Like, I would like to find a way to get a couple Forest Goblin Spider Riders, like 2 of them, just so I can at least put some pressure on the Salamanders. Like, that would be the big thing I would probably change in this build. So maybe cut the little Goblin Shaman and cut, like... Cut 1 Archer, the Goblin Shaman, and maybe like cut the Chevrons, and then I think that would be enough. And I think that would probably be quite a bit better. Like because if I could have shut down those Salamanders, my Giants would have lived, and it would have just been Pound City. So that was one thing I learned from the build. So yeah, it was a fun one. GRIMGOR did okay. He was able to get those Waws and really, you know, did some work against Temple Guard. And my opponent's build was quite a bit of fun as well. He had a Tic-Tac-Toe who you don't see terribly often. So we telepathically communicated in that quick battle, and we're like, let us both bring Meme Lords and see who shall prevail this day. So it was pretty fun. So well played to my opponent, Christian Santish. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Greenskin versus Lizardmen showdown. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.